Hi friends, it's been a while since I've had an opportunity to come to the cemetery at Mountain Home, and there's been a lot of development here. They've been working on a new annex to the facility, and the other day there was a dedication here of this new annex, and I wanted to show a little bit of it to you. I had a few things to do today, and so I decided to take a little detour to show you this new annex. And it's beautiful and very well thought out and laid out, and I just thought y'all would like to take a look at it. I think there's about 17,000 veterans buried in the cemetery, and a number of my friends, and since I've been part of the honor guard, had the honor to be present at a number of funerals here at Mountain Home and elsewhere. But this is the main entrance here, and of course the building on the left there is the administration building. But to me, this is just a really nice vista. Whenever the veterans are interred, the families will go down this flag-lined avenue, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful place, send-off for the family as they depart the cemetery in this new annex. We're going to go over to the main cemetery here in a minute, and I'll have another video for that. So while I travel here through what they call the campus at Mountain Home, the first veteran burial here was in 1903, and I believe that's correct. And the veteran that I believe that's buried here was a gentleman that lived to almost 100 years of age, and he joined the service when I think he was 8 or 9 years old. And as the story goes, and 8 or 9 years old, and you're probably saying, well, how did he join the service at 8 or 9 years old? He was what they call a powder monkey, and joined the service, and as a kid, and as that kid served throughout our nation's history, and retired out as a major. Came here to the what was then an infirmary, a hospital at the Mountain Home, and of course you could see some of the architecture here of these buildings. It's just really remarkable, just beautiful in the French style. And this is an active hospital and residence today for many, many veterans as they are, obviously have some medical issues that they need to get taken care of. But I spent a lot of time here, helping and volunteering, and it's my honor to do so. And since I never served in the military, it's my way of giving back to the veterans who have. So this campus is really a beautiful place, and I wish I can get a job here and just helping our veterans, making a little bit of money while I did it. But I'm going to drive into the main cemetery here now, and you can see all the buildings are all of the same style of architecture, and throughout the whole entire campus. Beautiful day here in Northeast Tennessee. And this is the entrance to the main cemetery. So this is the Mountain Home National Cemetery. They've done a beautiful, beautiful job here in maintaining this cemetery, and as I mentioned before, there's about 17,000 burials here at Mountain Home. And I encourage you, this isn't too far from Route 81. It may be, 20 miles or so, but I encourage you to pay a visit here. There are 4 Medal of Honor recipients here, buried here, 3 from the Civil War era, and 1 from World War II. Anyway, getting back to the fellow that was the first interred here, he resided here, and at 99 years of age, is how I understand it, at 99 years of age, he fell down the stairs while he was living here, and died. They do such a wonderful job here maintaining the cemetery. It's just absolutely gorgeous in my mind. I think I'm the only one in here today, which is a little sad for me. There's one of the Medal of Honor recipients right here. Thomas Smith, the Seaman, United States Navy, died October 22nd, 1905. Medal of Honor recipient. This section right over here to my left is a kind of a missing in action area of the cemetery. All these markers here are for people that were not found, but they're memorial stones. And the big obelisk there, Brownlow is the architect of this cemetery. It is. There's a memorial stone right here. Right there at the back row, Samuel Berkshires, Captain, United States Army, Revolutionary War over Mountain Man and Kings Mountain and Yorktown. Floyd Tipton there, 4th one up from the closest to the car here, United States Navy, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. Okay, and then off to the right, there's another Medal of Honor recipient here. And I apologize for not getting out of the car, but it's not the easiest thing for me to do right now. And that is Henry Buhrman, Sergeant, Company E, 54th Ohio Infantry, and died June 1st, 1906. And all these guys can be, the Medal of Honor recipients, can be discovered at medalofhonor.com, and you can read their citations and their acts of valor to have them awarded the Medal of Honor. this little shelter on the right here is where the graveside, or should I say casket-borne veterans are brought. And then the new annex will handle cremations. But I've spent a lot of time here right on this spot. Not as much as all of my friends in the Honor Guard, but nevertheless, spent quite a few afternoons and mornings here in tribute to our fallen veterans. And keep in mind that a lot of these veterans in here are not combat-related deaths. They are veterans who have passed away over time. But there are some combat veterans here that whose mothers have been given the Gold Star, of course. And I'm going to go to one of those right now. There's a young lady, sorry I don't recall her first name, but her son is buried here, and he was killed in Afghanistan. And when I get to his grave, I will get out of the car. You can see there's a lot of space here for more casket-borne veterans. And there are cremations in this area as well. So I believe the new area is for cremations only, but I might be wrong. I am the only person in this cemetery today, which is a little sad for me. It's such a beautiful day. This section here, I have two friends. My neighbor Kevin and my good friend John. We'll go say hi to them in a minute. It's a beautiful shot. Beautiful. Bear with me here, please. But this fellow right over here, Benjamin White, is the one I was speaking of. He was killed on June 9th, 2010. I'll fix his grave up here a little bit. That's better. He was a search and rescue, SRA. And you can see there's quite a bit of change up here to honor those that visited his grave. It's kind of a remembrance, and the pennies mean something, the nickels mean something, the dimes mean something. I don't know right off the top of my head. There's quite a bit of loose change around here. Now I'm going to walk over to see my friend Kevin. I've been wanting to do a video in here for a long time and give a little bit of history. When I first came here to Tennessee over 12 years ago, this was one of the first places that I visited. I tried to volunteer here, and they weren't accepting any volunteers at the time, which is kind of disappointing. That has changed, thank God. There's my friend Kevin right over here, and I have requested that his headstone here be looked at because of the lettering coming out. And you can see the ones to the left are fine. These couple right here are not, and I think what happened was that when they cut the inscriptions, they didn't clean out the letters enough before they painted them. And so they had cutting fluid on there, and unfortunately that cutting fluid prevented the ink from adhering properly. Hi, Kevin. And we'll go over here and see my friend John. John, as you know, John Anderson was a very close friend of mine, as was Kevin. And John was a pilot in the 422nd Night Fighter Group and serving in World War II. And I got to know John very well. Got to know his family very well, and I'm actually mentioned in his book, which has just been recently released. How you doing, John? I miss him and Kevin immensely. John served his country, I believe, for 41 years. And Kevin, I think, had been in the service maybe 16. I'm not exactly sure. It's just a beautiful place. Well, friends, I'll call it quits for the day. I need to go home and rest. Everyone have a wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye. As you can see, these headstones up here, they don't have any of the black letters, they're just cut. I think they learned their lesson. to use that ink anymore.